In this video, we're going to examine the nicknames Tony Stark gave to every Avengers member. And trust me, these aren't just random names. This video is going to be super interesting. Basically, Tony Stark used 73 different nicknames throughout his 10-year MCU journey. I repeat, 73. The guy is literally a nickname machine. But you know what? Is the person he gave the most nicknames to actually his favorite person? Plot twist alert. Now, is that like button ready? Because this video is going to low-key blow your mind. But first, let me ask you this. Why does Tony give so many nicknames? The answer might surprise you. Part 1. Captain America. Dude, this is pure comedy. Go ahead and grab some popcorn. Tony's nicknames for Captain America are hilarious. First nickname, Capsicle. When I first heard this, I literally died laughing. Think of it like this. Steve was frozen in ice for 70 years, right? Tony combined that with popsicle. Galaxy brain move. But there's a hidden layer here. Tony actually thinks Steve is old-fashioned. He's basically saying, "You're frozen in time, old man. Hey, Tony, quit the superhero business and host a talk show." Other nicknames. Old man and grandpa are in the same category. Tony saying, "That's my old man," in Civil War. Peak sarcasm energy. The guy is 90 years old but looks 30. Tony uses this every chance he gets. Hey dude, before we continue, I need to say something important. Can I get a table and some snacks to feel comfortable? Some chocolate, chips, and gummy bears. Hey, don't look at me like that. I love these things, no matter how old I get. How old do you think I am? Oh, and can I also get some popcorn? I heard you yelling, "Enough!" Okay, dude, getting back to the topic. Dude, help me reach 1,000 subscribers so I can make more videos. Subscribe right now. Like the video. Yes, that's all. Let's continue. Part 2. Thor. Our first nickname, Point Break. This is literally the most genius nickname ever. Point Break is a 1991 surf movie. Patrick Swayze had long blonde hair. Thor also has long blonde hair. Tony's been using this since Avengers 1, and Thor is still low-key confused. Part 3. Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner's situation is different. Tony rarely gives him nicknames. Why? Because Bruce is the only person who intellectually challenges Tony. Big Guy is the standard name used for Hulk. The other guy is what Bruce himself uses. Think about it. Tony gives 73 nicknames total, but addresses his closest science buddy only by his name. Coincidence? I think not. Now let's get to the Archer. Part 4. Hawkeye. Tony's nicknames for Hawkeye? Legolas and Robin Hood, as predictable as Swiss cheese has holes. Legolas is obvious, the elf archer from Lord of the Rings. Tony uses this in Civil War and Clint literally gets triggered. He says, "I don't know anyone by that name." Peak passive-aggressive energy. Robin Hood is less used, but same concept. Shoots arrows equals Robin Hood. Part 5. Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff. Black Widow. And Tony's nickname? Basically none. Tony always says Romanoff or Natasha. This is a huge deal. Why? Because when Tony doesn't give nicknames, he either shows respect or he's scared. With Natasha, it's both. Remember their first meeting in Iron Man 2? Natasha is working undercover at Stark Industries. Tony calls her Miss Rushman, formal, respectful. Then when he finds out she's a SHIELD agent, feels betrayed but still respects her. In Civil War, Natasha initially takes Tony's side, then she lets Steve escape. Tony literally threatens her with, "I'm not the one who needs to watch their back." But still, no nickname. Because Tony knows Natasha can kick his ass in 10 different ways. You've all been waiting for him. Come on, you know who I'm talking about. Bit 6. Spider-Man. This part is so fun because Tony gave Spider-Man the most nicknames. First nickname, Underoos. His debut in Civil War. Underoos was a children's underwear brand in the 80s. Tony literally sees Peter as a kid from the first interaction. But here's the twist. This is actually affectionate. Tony's love language is basically mockery. Kid, Queens, Spiderling. Webhead. The list goes on. Tony literally finds a new nickname for Peter in every sentence. Everything changes in Infinity War. Tony stops calling Peter kid and calls him Parker. Why? Because Peter isn't a kid anymore. He's going to space, fighting Thanos. Tony starts showing respect. In Endgame, Tony tells Morgan, "I love you 3000," but he never says, "I love you" to Peter. Why? Because Tony's generation doesn't express feelings directly. Nicknames are his love language. Every time he says kid, it actually means, "I care about you." Question: does Tony see himself in Peter, or does he see his son? Let's discuss in the comments. Part 7, Doctor Strange. And get ready to hear Tony's nicknames. This is pure, absolute cinema. You know, Mr. Doctor, the most iconic exchange in Infinity War. Tony says, "Mr. Doctor? Strange. It's strange." Tony, "Maybe, but who am I to judge?" Literally a Hail Mary of comedy timing. Tony is basically trolling Strange with his own name. Tony doesn't believe in magic, so he gives him nicknames like Wizard and Douchebag. Since he's a man of science, he goes, "Magic is just science we don't understand yet." In response, Strange does some magic, and Tony sarcastically says, "Cool tricks." Two egos colliding like a Michael Bay movie on steroids. Chapter 7, Loki. Loki, Thor's brother, and Tony's nicknames? Iconic. Reindeer Games in Avengers 1. Loki's helmet looks like reindeer antlers. Simple but effective mockery. Loki is literally confused. What are these reindeer games? Rock of Ages, another hit from Avengers 1. A reference to the Broadway musical, plus Loki's dramatic aesthetic. Tony simply says, "You're theatrical and annoying." But consider, does Tony see Loki as a threat? Sort of. Loki is a god, Tony is a human with technology. But Tony is still joking. Tony's armor, literally and figuratively. In Infinity War, Loki dies within the first 10 minutes. Tony doesn't see it, but Tony probably realizes even gods die. Death strikes differently. Chapter 8, Thanos, the Mad Titan. So what's Tony's nickname for him? Nothing. Tony calls Thanos, Thanos, always. No Purple Man, no grimace, no jokes. Because Thanos is a real threat to the universe. Tony knows when to stop joking around. In Infinity War, Thanos recognizes Tony as Stark. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge. Mutual respect among enemies. Thanos is basically saying, you and I are the same. Tony clearly disagrees but understands. Endgame, the final battle. Tony takes the Infinity Stones. Thanos says, I am inevitable. Tony, and I am Iron Man. No joke, no nickname, just identity. The character's peak moment. Tony literally dies but wins. This is the ultimate sacrifice.